Hey and welcome. In this section, we will build complete Tic Tac Toe online game. That means you on your phone and your friend in his phone could play Tic Tac Toe online. So, for example, I just opened this app and I already log in with my email and password. He showed me this page. And when my friend also log in with his email and password, he will see finally this page. Now they want to play. Okay, I want to send a request. I enter my friend email and click request. So my friend get my invitation, see, and he could accept it. So now we could play the game. So when I, for example, I click X, see, he see my X directory. When he click O, I see the O. I click X, he see. He click O, he don't want me to win. Now I click here, trying to win. He see my work, he click here. Then I click here, then I win the game. So the idea behind this game, we will learn a lot. We will learn how to use Firebase database in real time to make two-player playing in real time, and we will understand how online gaming will work. And we will learn a lot about these services in Firebase and how we could manage it. So let's get started step by step to build this game from scratch. Okay, let's get started by making a new copy from the Tic Tac Toe game that you have already. That's saved in iOS. Then I have something named Tic Tac Toe, which is this one and this one local. So first I will get a new folder. I name it Tic Tac Toe Online. Okay, and make a new copy from this one and add it here. So this is my normal or my local Tic Tac Toe. So what I will do during this video and next upcoming videos, I will do some update in this application to make it work online between two friends. So first of all, to make this, to start using online service, I have to configure this application to use Firebase. So make sure to go here in iOS and add a new app. I already have projects, so I will add a new app inside it. He asked me about the iOS bundle. Let me just go here in this bundle. He named it Tic Tac Toe local. You could change it Tic Tac Toe online if you would like to make like something, the name be convention. So make it, change it to Tic Tac Toe online, paste it here, name it Tic Tac Toe online iOS, and boom, register the app, and he will create this file for you. So what I want to do, I want to download this one here, but I already have something already saved here, so make sure to remove the one that I have it already. I have this file already in my download from previous process, so I could download it to avoid renaming things and have something, some name or two names. So having it here, what I will do, just drag it, drop it to my project, make sure enabled copy if needed, and boom, finish. So you know what the process that I have to do to make this application using Firebase. So first of all, you have to close the application, then open the terminal, go cd to the direction of my application, which is iOS Tic Tac Toe online, which I have this folder inside it. Enter. So ls, I have nothing, so I say pod init. So he will create a new file for me. If I say ls, I see pod file. So I say nano for the pod file. So first of all, remove this hash pound. Then there is number of things I want to import them. I will add them one time, so I will not do the process again. So the first one you need to add it, the Firebase cover. Okay, say pod Firebase/cover. And what the second thing? The second thing I need to add pod Firebase authentication, so user could use authentication, FirebaseAuth. And the third one I need to use it the databases, so I say pod, make sure space, pod Firebase, okay, database, this way, database, okay. Then Control X, Y, enter, save it, then say pod install. Okay, it'll take some time until he will install all the things that I needed. So if I just go to that folder, open where I am, here is it. So this is my project. with both, so make sure everything installed at the pod. I have authentication, I have the cover, and I have the databases, which is everything that I need. Make sure, see here, he say when the continue, I already did these steps, and here he what he will do for configuration. So I have everything ready here. So what I will do in my project, just make sure it's working fine before go to the next video. So in app config here, I say, hey, import Firebase, and make sure here I say, hey, far app.configure. Okay, run it. I will use iPhone 6, and boom. So what I see here in seconds, he say look for something like Firebase enabled. So Firebase Analytics enabled. Yes, that's amazing. So now we have everything ready to go to the next step. So here we done, and see you next. Again, we did complete in the previous video the connection with the Firebase. So what I want to do now, I want to do the login page. So anyone want to use Tic Tac Toe, you have to log in. So first of all, I have to go to the Firebase console, and in the authentication, you know that my app Tic Tac Toe iOS, which is this one. So in the authentication, I have to go to the signing in method. I have to enable this one. It's already enabled because I enabled from previous project for the Twitter app. So if it's enable, if you do new project and you see it already disabled, make sure change it to disable, enable, and save it. So make sure this one enable. This is first step. Second step, we need to do the login page. So what I have to do, I have to add a view controller, and this view controller should go here. And this view controller, I want it to be my startup page, so I have to move this one to it. So first thing, people have to see this one. So I have to add a new file, which is for the view controller. I say next, make sure this one UI view controller, and make sure this one name it view controller login. People do login. So great, bam, bam. Okay, I think I have it ready now. So what I will do, just to make sure I don't have any problem, just take this one and say, hey, this one is connected with a view controller login. So now in the code, what I do, text field I need for the person enter his email and password for sure. Anyone to want to play the game, you have to have email and password. And here you have to go to the settings and name it enter user, enter your email, and the next text field, enter your password. Okay, enter your password, and almost, oops, not background, sorry, I just did mistake. This one have to take and move it here, and make sure this one have to be secure text field. So because I need people to don't see the password. I also need a button for register. I will add only button for register because I will save user settings. So next time when he opened the app, he already registered. So just make sure from everything, boom. If you don't like this one, here you go, login, or you name it register, because it only see it by the new user. Make sure change the background then to this one, and the hints to this one. I almost done. Then one final thing, connect these things with the code. So I have these object, which is this one. So I say, hey, this is a view controller login. So this should be the text field, should be txt email, and this one should be txt password, and this one should be button for login, so or register. So I have to add it here. I say bu register. Okay, make sure this one will be action, and boom, connected. I'm done. So just go, let me just take these off. I don't want them to use all my things. So now I think everything is ready. I have these login. I don't need these two methods for these. I need just to do login. So how to do login? So you know the process. We already discussed these things. First of all, you need to import Firebase on the top of the page. You say, hey, import Firebase. Import Firebase. Second thing, what I want to do register for the user. So to do register, I just say this way. I say FireAuth authentication dot what auth. Then I say dot create a new user. Create user with email and password. So whatever email you have whatever you have txt email.text, whatever people pass it as a text, and whatever you have the password txt password dot text, whatever you have as a text. And what will happen when there's something completed? So I want to see the results. So I say, hey, if someone here want to do this, please come here. So there is two things expected: either I get the user or getting error. Okay, let me process these things. So I would say, hey, let me just close the bracket here. So I say here, if there is error, so if let error equal error, that means if I have error, print whatever, print cannot login. And you could show the error also, so people could understand why he cannot log in the console. Okay, this is first thing. Okay, what if there's no error? Say else, that means the user is login. So if the user is login, first of all, let me just print the user UID. Then you'll fix that thing later. So I say user UID, and I want to show him the user dot UID. Whatever, just show it for the people. So really straightforward thing. So either do this thing or do this thing if you was able to log in, and bam, you done. So I think maybe I have error here. He said what? Okay, you don't need that sign. So yes, just for login ID, I think he just, when you click on it, he just will log in and you will not have any, he will create a new user for you and register it. But what I want to do after I do register for the user. First of all, I want to go to the second page, like mean go to the next page. So in this one, this activity need to go to that activity, which is the second page. Would do show. So because I'm doing from view controller, I didn't define which one will go. So make sure give the identification like play game. Give it this name. So this is my segue name. So name it play game segue. Save it. Now to use this segue, so on the login, for example, let me just here, because I need this method to use it from different places. Say function, name it go to play game. Just make name. I'll just give a name this function. That means I want to go to the second page. So this is just doing segue to go to the second activity. I say perform segue, which is this one. He asks you which identification. I know my identification. Is there anything I send to it? No, I don't need to send anything for now. So now, hey, if the user login, please go to this one. If you just log in, go to the second activity. You know that if I do perform segue, there is something, some function name it prepare will be called prepare in this way. Prepare will be called sometime I know the name of the function, so I don't want to go too many details. So this is my function This is my prepare function that should be called automatically when the person do call for segue. You know why I cannot call this one, because this is a function and this is event, so I need to mention word self before it, so he would know it. Now, hey, I want to prepare. You know that I say, hey, if let whatever, if segue dot identification will be equal to this one, play game. That means I could start working. So what I will do, first of all, I say, hey, if let view controller, whatever, name it, play game equal the segue segue dot destination. This is something like we do it every day. I just name it a view controller. Why view controller? Because this name it view controller for the destination. So I think, hey, that view controller, the destination, I have it. So what I will do just whatever you want. If you want to pass anything, so you could pass it. If you suppose here in this one, in the view controller, I just getting here something, name it, well, just I suppose I have variable, name it user UID, which is supposed to be a string. User UID supposed to be a string, and expect to get an null. And yes, we are passing data to that one. So to pass the data for it, you say, hey, view controller login dot user UID will be equal whatever user UID you have it in this app. So you say, it is defined here, or user UID, so where user UID, which is also string, that I will pass it later in seconds. And I say, hey, this one will be equal that user UID. So just make sure passing some information from the first controller to second controller. So this one done. So this is the prepare is done. I think everything is ready. So we will not have any problem. Anyone will call this method, he will go to the second activity without any problem. One final things I have to do. So if the person already registered, that means I want to check whenever when the application gets started, did loaded. If the user already registered, so say, hey, if let the user will be equal what, or will be equal to the Firebase authentication. Make sure if the user already, like he already already registered before, I say .auth dot current user. If I have user already, that means, hey, I want to go to the next, but before I have to go next, I have say self dot user UID equal to the user dot UID. Just make sure, and also just directory say go to the next. So that's mean what? That's mean if the user he want to open the application again and he already logged in before, I don't show him the login page directly, go to the next page. But you know that you will get a problem now here because this one running in bag thread. So you need to go here on this one and say, hey, this perform need to be inside the dispatcher queue dot main dot async, whatever, and you add your code here. And because this one need to be performed, it will not work in this way, it need to have word self before it. So basically I'm done now. Now if when someone comes second time, he will not have any problem. He will directly go to the second page without any issues with logging info. I just want to do final things. Just you want to save this information in the Firebase database. So make sure to do that. I say, hey, variable, I define my reference to the database equal to the Fire database references dot init. Then this one, before we do anything, I do initialize for this one. So okay, I do reference will be equal to the Firebase database, FAR database, this one dot databases dot references. Okay, just initialize it. You know this process, so you could do self to be like more standard. So now what I want to do, I want just setting child for the user login side. Hey, after user login, what I want to do? Okay, I will do this. First of all, when he did login, in this way, I create a new node in the child, but I name this child Tic Tac Toe because I need to save all the information for a Tic Tac Toe in this child. Then I say dot, again a new child inside this. I name it users because I need to save all the information for the node name Tic Tac Toe. I have the users inside it, then have this user inside it, which is this user child, which is user UID, whatever user UID have. Do you think I have to add user UID? No, I have to add the email of the person. So how to get the email? I have to say, hey, available. Okay, why I have to do it? I have already the email here is coming on this one, but just let me define function to siblet. So siblet email. Why? I will tell you why. Because now if I just say, hey, I need to create child named user.email, you will get into trouble because the email have word at inside it, and you cannot have node name have a at. So I need to remove the at from it. So I say, okay, siblet email, okay, whatever the email coming. So you said email string, just one sibleted. So you know how to siblet. Just say, hey, return. Before that, you say, hey, variable or let array of email will be equal to the email dot siblet new function. Just use it to siblet. I want to siblet according at. So whenever you have at, please siblet it, and I want to return first part in the array, so number 0. That's mean, hey, if you send me email hussein@yahoo.com, he will return only Hussein for you. So now when you pass this one, hopefully you will not have any problem with this one. He just send you the email and you'll be okay. And also this one have to have a node inside it. I will add child inside it, have a request that this person, whatever request he get. So I say requests in this way, requests, and you could set it any value, but I would give it value set value. I will give it whatever the user UID for now. So what I did, user.uid. So okay, I will tell you what I did in seconds. Wait, let me just first fix what he say. Hey, okay, because here we are doing some calling through the function out, so this one need to have the word self before it, self in this way. So what I did is this. I say, hey, after you login, create a new node, name it Tic Tac Toe. Inside the node is name it user. Then create with child with my name, whatever my name is. Create child with my name. Then inside it, add a new child, name it request, have whatever UID I have. I don't know why he do this. So yes, I think this one need to be taken over, and the user UID also need to be taken, so you will not have any problem. So you could do it in this way. I say getting this one, and yes, avoiding any error. Okay, it sounds fine, but I think here I have to return something, name it string, and also this one need to be casted to string, so I will not have any problem. Bum, send it back, and I should be totally fine. He did load, so I have this thing. I have this my Firebase dashboard. So I want to go to the database, so make sure everything is cool. So I would name it rana90@gmail.com. Then give any password. Then bam. Okay, and if you go to now, he got a new node name Tic Tac Toe. Click on it. He have a user. The user name is Rana19 only. If you see, he just take off the part of the email and he got add this request for it. So now any user will login, any new user, when he login, he will get a new node for him with a username, with the request, with that value. So now if I just try to run another app, just whatever application, 6S, now device totally different. You try to log in with a different user, you are totally fine, you could do it. And also The normal user, when he tried to log in, he will not see the login page. He directly go to the next page because he already logged it in, so we will not ask him to log in again. So yes, this should be our good start. So now anyone want to use our application, just directly log in with his email and password, click login. We will have a track for him. We will track him, and we will have everything. So let's suppose this one should be Hussein 19AA and the password, then register. Hopefully he will. Okay, I have to say at gmail.com, then click register, so he will register that user. See, now you have another user. So every user login, you take username and save it. Why we disable it? Because we cannot add at as you in the node name. So here we're done. Thank you for watching and see you next. Hey again. Now I'm logging in, so I just need to do some update in this UI so to make it work. So if you see, I have here three constraints on the top, so just remove them. What I want to do some change in the login page. So let me just add a view controller, or view, not a view controller. So this view should live here, and I would suppose this one be here. This is good to be here. Yes, good place. And have text field, so you want to send invitation to anyone, user email here, and I would add 2 buttons, so save button, you add invite. Okay, hopefully I did request, whatever, request from someone to play, request, yes, and there's another button for accept. Someone send you a request, you accept it. Okay, boom, you're done. Let me just change this color for this button. So let's suppose when you accept, still white, but when you accept, you have to be in green. Like, hey, I want to accept. The background should be green and the hand should be white because you are accepting things. When you do invite for someone, let's suppose you use this color for this color, and still the white one. So request or accept, whatever you say here, other player email, just request to play with him. Sorry, I have to add it here. Should be always here. Okay, so now just pin things. So what do you think? This one should be pinned from this side, this side, this side. That's why I don't pin it in 5 and 5 from every side, so to be like clear. It's 5, 5, not less. This one should be pinned on the top as much as. Did I pin it on this one? Yes, good. This one also need to be pinned on the top with that one. Hopefully I did pin it right, yes. And also this one need to be pinned with this one. Cool. So now this one need to be pinned. Did I add them as a child for it? So because it's important to be child, so you don't have a confuse. Yes, 3 of them are the child of this view. So having them as a child, it's easy to manage their constraints. So now just let me make sure I'm in the right place. So this one should be pinned from this way. I think fixed with will be good. And yes, this is what I need. And this one need to be pinned from this side and this side, and this one also need to be pinned from that both side. It's better do it from 3 sides. You don't have any problem. Nothing going out. So now hopefully clicking it, run it. I don't know which version of emulator will run, so hopefully this one should be the iPhone 6. Just make sure the UI is working fine, so I could go next and start implement the code, or just connect it with the back end, so I will no longer touch this thing again. Bam, bam, bam. It's still getting some constraint, so this one have to be here. Is that right? So there is no problem. Well, the problem that I got is like make these UI things going up. So if I just see these things trying to go out, trying to go up. What about if I just click here and I say, hey, add missing constraint? Will something fix it? Add missing constraint. And let me see, hopefully. If you fix it, fix it. If you not, just I click Ctrl Z and try to fix it by hand. So what happened? We're just designing things and we are not sure everything will work according to what we want him, or how the way that we want him. Yes, fixed constraint now work. So yes, you request, you accept, everything sounds fine to me, and just connect them with the code and try to make sure everything is fine. So here is it. So what this thing means in the top, I just have this one, user email, so I just connect it, make sure is it txt player email. Okay, and I have two buttons, should goes down because these events. So you request something, name it bu request, should be action. Cool. And you have another button connected, bu accept, again action. So everything fine now. I think we good to go to the next step. If you want to make the design UI, like the buttons, manage them, manage the width and height for the button, you're totally fine. So just to avoid anything, like say, hey, 57, you say 16 as a width, and this for 5. Yeah, just make it like more acceptable. That's fine. 36, 53. Just try to make them sharp in the way that you want. Just make sure this constraint doesn't do problem in the UI. I just want to see, like, be more professional on our works. So if everything went well, so I will go to the next and start implement the code. We will never touch a UI again after that. So yes, everything sounds cool now. So let's go next and start implement the code. Again, let me talk in this video about the request part, like how I could send a request for other player. So if you remember in this code, we did every player have specific node named request. And this node, he could have many childs that hold information about the request coming to that user. So, and he also could listen to these requests. So whenever he get any request, he could respond to that request. So first of all, I want to enable sending requests. So okay, it's really easy. Just go to this code that I have it in the view controller. You now here I could get the player email. So I could say, hey, I want to send a request. First of all, you remember I need to do something like, if I go to the login, you know, I did this one first. So I have just, okay, go up, do same step, import the Firebase. Okay, then second thing, you just go here and define a new variable for the Firebase instance. Then in that, if you remember here, he also did read instance for that variable. Okay, do same thing, whatever he did, and you are good to go. Now I have this reference, so I want to send request to the other player. Okay, be request. So how to send the request? The process really easy and straightforward. You know that if you just go to that page, login, you see where we save the information for the user. Child, Tic Tac Toe, users, the username. Let me just try to show you simple things. If I just see, take all these code and go here in the request and try to update it. So I want to send request Tic Tac Toe users. Which user I want to send? The user that his name, his email entered here. So whatever the email in the input field coming, not me, because now this one represents me, but I want to send it to that user. So I say, hey, The user that I'm talking about is the whatever the user they entered here. Cool. Also setting the value, you could set it any value. You could set it my email, like current user email. So now this request coming from that user. So it's better thing setting as a your email. So how I could get my email? Okay, you know that same process. You could pass it from the first activity. So if you say here I have user email, user ID, I could have something named user email. Also be passed from where? Be passed from this way. The login part, you remember here we pass only user UID. You could pass user email when the person login. So you say, wait a second, it's better to pass it before I do the segue. Let me just take these two, and here instead doing it in this way, when I call login, just remove that part, just set that variable in this way, and boom, you're done. So you just do too many things unnecessary. You say okay, user dot UID and vc player dot user email will be equal user dot email, user ID and user email. So just in this way. So now I just go to the second page, which is have the user email. So if I go here in the view controller, so now instead passing it in this way, I just say, hey, you have a request from me. So I just adding my email. So I say user email, and that is because this is the value that's passed already. But you know that I cannot use this part this way. Split is not available here. I need to copy it also, this function that's splitting the strings. Okay, copy it, paste it here. So now I think we are good to go for sending requests to any other players that they are here. So maybe self will does not need it because I'm just calling it from button. So yes, hopefully now everything fine, and I could send a request to the other player. So let me see if I will be able to send a request. Pum 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 pum. Okay, everyone, now there's a problem. What does the problem mean? This problem mean he wasn't able to just control shift H and remove the app, and you should be okay after rerun. Now again, this problem happen again, happen a lot. So okay, I don't know what the name of the user who was using this application, so I have no idea about his name. But let me suppose I'm sending to rana19 at gmail.com, send a request. If you see, Rana have a request coming from Hussein. But what happened here? She could get requests only from one person. Other person will update the value for this one. She need to see list of the requests that coming to her. Okay, we could do that by instead setting only one request with value by adding another child by auto ID with a specific value. So now she could get many requests from many players without any problems. So instead of having single node with that value, you will have multi nodes with too many people. So anyone send me a request, bam, just paste his email, and bam, you done also. So yes, I'm just sending to rana19 at gmail.com. He will understand. See, he just add child here. Hey, request coming from Hussein. Okay, so now Hussein send another request. He say, hey, another request coming from Hussein. Whatever the person is coming from, he will directly add that person email, and he will continue. So have we done the part for sending requests, and see you next again. Now any player, he will get the request, and this request will be listed under his name. So what the player have to do? Every player have to listen to the node request for him and see whenever he get any request, he just get notified, so he show a message or whatever. So I want to do in this video, I just want to listen to any incoming request. So the process is not complex again. So what I will do, just see the code. So in the code, I will define new function. I name it incoming, okay, requests, okay. these functions have to be called automatically whenever the applications get started. So whenever the user gets started, he just will listen to any incoming request to him. So he have to listen to these things here and view did load. So just start listening to any incoming request. So yes, now we start implement. So how he listen to incoming requests. Okay, I'm as a user. You know, this is the node that I have to listen to. So which is, name it this node. So but I have to have my name, my email. So or my child users, I have to listen to my email. So here I have to have my email, not people email. So instead this one I have to pass my email. Okay, so I will be listening to any incoming request to my email. So continue listen to anything to happen in that node. So if my name is Hussein, I will be listening to this node request. If my name is whatever Rana, I will listen to these requests. So he just give the name of the node that he want to listen to. So okay, the process of the listening, you know about it. So I don't think it's important for us to go through it every time, but let me do it. Like I say, hey, dot observe, then you give it two things. First of all, you say dot value in this way, and the second thing, like what you want to do with what. So I say, okay, I want to do this. So what you expect to have, we expect to have Snapchat, snapshot, and this one should be in. Then I have to start working with this snapshot. So what I have to do, I just have to read all the nodes that child for the request. I have two things. I have key and value. So we'll do, hey, if let snapshot will be equal to snap in this way, snapshot dot children dot all objects. Then you say, hey, this thing to be as FirebaseAuth data snapshot. Then so yes, if there is data, that's mean, hey, I could process it. So for every snap in snapshots, please go through it. So you know every snap now what's have, it have UID and it have value, UID and value. What I'm caring about, I'm caring about the value for sure. So I will do this. I will say, hey, first, okay, I have number of snapshots, and what I want to get the value for it. So I say this, hey, if let the player request equal snap.value, just getting the value because I don't care about the key. I just get first value. I could expect this one to be a string and say, hey, when you get any value, what I want you to do, I just go to the self text email.text. I want you to set it with that email request. So when whoever send me a request, I just get the value, because you know here I have the values as a key value. I'm just getting first value from them. I just get that value, set it here. You will be all set here. This is snapshot, this is for that one, and I think I need one more level, so I just did mistake in the deleting things. So this is the if statement, this is for loop, and this one should be for if condition. So I set it. After I set it, what I want to do, I already have my node I'm listening to, and I send listening to the request. I just need to update and just remove other requests that I have them, so I will not see them again. So you say set value, you say user, whatever, user UID. Just I want to update it so I will not go through this process again and again. So now if I just try to C, this one you say, hey, you try to call some method name is separate, you have to be self, because it should be outside my scope. Hopefully now if I just run it, I could send a request to the other player. Bum bum. Again, you're just saying, hey, this one need to be user UID, I think need to be this way. Hopefully this time I will pass it. Because accessing to this value, you need word self before them, because you need to call them from this thread. I believe now the problem should be fixed. So now just pushing the application to the first device, then pushing it in the second device, which is, I don't remember what the version of that device is, but let me just minimize it and see what the version. Okay, iPhone 6 and I have iPhone 6s, so 6s should be loaded now, and I just changed it here to the iPhone 6 also. Boom, to make sure everything went well. So boom boom, this one 6 is done. You have everything ready, just waiting for 6s to load also. Okay, you get a problem with the 6, with this one getting a problem, so I need to delete this app. Okay, then rerun it again. Make sure select this one, Ctrl Shift H, open the Tic Tac Toe game. That one open Tic Tac Toe, both of them now opening the Tic Tac Toe. That we see is everything went according to what we do or not. So I think the iPhone 6s is the first player. So see, she directly see she has a request from that player, because she was listening and she cleared the news. So let me just start again. So I want to send a request to that person, which is named Rana. This one Rana. I say, hey Rana 19 at gmail.com. Just I send a request, she directly get the request and she update her node with that request. See, now she could accept the request or reject that request. So this is very basic process, like how we do the request. So what if she accept? She have to send him accept back. So if she reject, she have to send them reject. So let me see the accept. If I just do, it is me, like for example this one should be in the accept. So again, I'm saying Tic Tac Toe to the users, to the person who sent me a request. I send him a request back, because hey, I accept you. So both of them, they now, hey, you send me a request, I accept your request. You just send it back to him, to the whoever person sent him a request. You don't change anything, same code. Because now when he sent me a request, I click accept. My accept going back to him, he already listening, so both of us have emailed each other. One final thing I have to do, just set the player. So I say variable player sample. Okay, I suppose this one should be string and null. So let's suppose the person who requests to play the game, the sample for him will be X, and the player who accepts that request, the sample for him will be O. So just start up. So now, so I will not have any problem later on in the coloring and things. So now when I send a request, I will be verifying, and when I get a request, I also be verifying. You could send and accept. When you send a request using this way, that device is listening. If the person click accept, you get the request back. Both of you will have the request from each other, so both of you could play the game. So just do final test, make sure everything is went well. So that one is working now. So let me change the device is 6s, I think was the second device, hopefully 6s. So both devices now is working, and let me see what we could do. So this one Tic Tac Toe local, waiting for this device to load it. Bam. Okay, it's showing that everything fine, don't worry, I don't see any problem. So I'll go to the next video and try to implement the remain things. Hey again, what I want to do in this video, I want to have a unique session 2 players could play in. So what do you think the unique thing I could get from this one and this one? For sure their ID. If I get concatenate first name with the second name, I have the unique thing. So I will do this. What I will do is this, just go here and say, hey, let me define function, and this function, name it play online. Okay, when I want to play online, I have to have session ID, which is string. Okay, and bam. So this session ID, that is a string, have to be setted. But how I could set it? When I send a request to play with any people, I have to set the play online session ID. So a play online, give the session ID. What do you think? Okay, I would add my email, so which is email, user email. I concatenate it with the other user email, so with the person I want to play with him. So I would say this. Okay, I will concatenate my email with the second user email. So from where I could get the second user email, I could get it using this function, the person I want to play with him. Okay, for sure, for me also, I have to remove this part. I have to remove the @ okay, which is cool. So now when I send a request to anyone, if I want to play with him, I will have a unique session ID that have my name and the second player name. If my name is Hussein, sending to Jenna, the session ID will be Hussein Jenna. So when she accepts the request, she just have to do the reverse thing. So instead sending my name and her name, she sent her name and my name. Why? Because if my name is Hussein, sending to Jenna, the session will be Hussein Jenna. When the Jenna want to accept that request, she has to have a session named Jenna Hussein. So, and that is, so just add space here, and bam, you will be all set. So really basic things. So we could do it for these two. Okay, you say insert this one. I don't like this part of the game. You could do underscore between these two players, will be better, because session/open something weird happened behind the scene. So this one. Okay, these two things should be enough. Wait a second, I think I did something wrong. Let me just remove this part. That one hopefully working. So just copy it again, add it here. I have this one represent that player, this session ID. So if I just take this part completely, move it here, now I have only one. Okay, you know what I will do? Space, then add that one, and bam, I have to be all set. Just replace things. So now the first player asked from the second player, as I told you, it will happen exactly the same story. Hussein Jenna, then Jenna Hussein. Now I have to save this session ID in some variable. I say variable session ID, okay, which is string, and this one gets set here. So I say, hey, self, not here, self dot session ID will be equal to this session ID, whatever session ID coming here. Now depending on the session ID, two players could play the game. How? I will tell you how. So if you see, I have this node, name it users. Is that right? Okay, let me just take this part and go app. What I have app, I have to have a part for the people when they want to play the game, when they click on the button. Do you remember where is the event for click on the button? If I just go here, play the game, BU event to click, play the game, go to this method, I will stop the autoplay. I'm no longer having autoplay. Second thing, here, he just play the game. I don't want him to play the game. So what I want to do here, first of all, I will go to the child named Tic Tac Toe. I will create a new child inside it. I will name this child playing online. This one have to have a child named session for the two players who play the game. To have the session ID for that players. So Hussein Jenna, have Hussein Jenna. And in that session, what you want to have? Okay, you have to have a child for the key, which key that's selected. So how you get it? You get it from bu select.tag. Tag Hussein, you know tag in this way. Okay, and what the value for it? You say, okay, set value, for sure you have to have the player name. But here you cannot do it because this tag is considered as an integer and you have to change it to string. So there's many ways to change it to string. I just could go and do this way. Okay, because you need the key name to be string. So just set value. What the value I need? The person who selected. So the email, whatever the email for the person who selected. Email. Because the email I cannot get it in this way, I have to remove the part. So I say split for the email. So just getting on the part. So any button selected, he just show you as a player thing. So what I will do is this, go back here, because I had a problem in the previous video. Just remove the app, okay, and go here, remove the app from two places. Hopefully this one does not have session ID, not be null. So first of all, run it on the 6S, make sure it debug it. Wait, what the? This one should be do it in this way. So just run it on the first one, wait for some time until he get loaded, then okay, just hit request, see she get the request, if she accepted, so now both of them have each other node's name. So just click here, see there's a node created named Hussein Jana, he say Hussein, click that button. So click 2, I just click Rana, click 5, see Hussein click 8, Rana click 6, and that's great. So let's go to the next and continue with this game. Hey again, I think now everything is good to go. Now if the first player or the second player they select anything, you will see it in the UI and you're done. I just want to listen to this, that changes, and shout and live, and bam, I'm done. So how to listen to these things? Okay, it's not something complex. You remember we already defined this method, and we already now both the players now playing on the same node, which is name it online for that session. So if you just go back here, you say they have online, they play for that session, which is this one. I just do listen for that node. So first of all, before I do any listen, first maybe these two players they played before. So make sure to say, hey, dot remove all. So you remove the values that you have them before, if they played this game before. Then you just start creating new session. I will not write code and like just unnecessary thing. I just copy this thing, I have it, okay, and add it here. For sure you don't need these things here to be added. Again, after I do this, you know what I will do? I just listening to whatever the session ID I have it here. So just listening to the player for that session. So if I just go here to this one, that's mean I'm listening to this one. Finally I have a number of keys and number of values. So give it key, he give you value, give it key, he give you the value for every person. So what I will do is this, just going here back, okay, he just do loop for the value for everyone. I have to have a key also, so it's not something complex, just snap dot key, it will give you the key for whatever the two people selected. So what I will do is this, just I don't use this code, I said let the key will be represent what? It represent the cell ID, is that right? So I would say snap dot key, whatever the key there, you say as string, okay. So you just get a string, so now you're getting value, getting key, you will be fine. So whenever the element he pass on, you just get whatever the value and key and value. So when you just do for loop, first thing you get, you bring you this cell, okay, you say I get this key is number 2, the value should be player name, and bum 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 you continue. So here you say with player email, because you know the email was saved in the value and the key cell ID. So now you just, what you want to do, okay, you have both of these, you just want to check. So how to check? Okay, you do this. So okay, if the key or the value for the key, which is the player email, player email, sorry, this one, if the player email will be equal to my email, that means it is me. Is that right? So it is equal to email or user email. That means it is me. That's my email. That means I did that things. Else, that means that cell is for the other player. So if I did that thing, so I will say, hey, I define the active player. So now we have already active player. So I say, okay, active player will be equal to what? Will be equal to this way. You say if the player sample will be equal to X, so send the active player 1 or send it 2. So either this one or this one. So as user email, this way you do it. And else you say, I think you do the opposite. So it should be 2 and 1. Hopefully this one will work fine. Player sample, active player, up. Not this way. You have to do self dot user email, self dot active player. You just self to player sample, self dot active player, self to player sample, and this way. So yes, you just do reverse. If it's me, show me this. If it's him, show him that. And bam, you'll be all set. So if I'm the X, show me that as active player. If he is the X, show him he is the active player. And just call auto. You have the method for autoplay or play the game, I think. But I think here we need to do some changes. You know why? Because if I just go back here, we did some change in the UI. The one who will be responsible for autoplay, he have to scan and see the player 1 and player 2. So first of all, here, before I do loops, I have to say, hey, player 1 dot clear. Okay, clear all or remove all, and the player 2. This is first step. Dot remove all. Just remove all the elements. This is first thing. After I remove all the elements from player 1, player 2, so that means they don't have anything in their cells. So they now have to get filled with the data. So self dot this. So now when we did change, I just moved something related to play game. Now the play game it was getting button, but now we are no longer sending him the button. We send him the ID, the tag of the button. So I have to do specific method to handle that part, which is look like this one, look like auto player. Just copy it, and I will tell you what I will do. So you remember in the autoplay, wait a second, we no longer have autoplay. So I have to think about autoplay. So I have to it's better to take all these. Randomly cell, I don't need random index, cell ID. I consider cell ID something coming as input here to me. And boom, I don't need whatever the cell ID coming to me. So if the cell ID is coming cell ID is coming 1, I will get the button 1. If 2, I get button 2, whatever, then I play the game. So yes, good. Then so here in the playing game, after I defined VZ player 1 to player 2, I said, hey, self self dot auto player, then cell ID. Cell ID will represent whatever the key you have it here, which is cell ID. But because you need it to be integer, you could do it integer for it. You don't care, it's still integer. So now I think we almost done. Because why? Because first of all, we are listening. If you click or I click or any person click, I just get that value. He said what he said here. Do you mean this one? Okay, I mean this one because it may be optional. What? Okay. So if any player click any button, I just get all the keys and all the values. Set who is the active player according to the sample that he have, if X or O. Then after that, what I will do, just call autoplay. What autoplay do for me, he just if I just find the autoplay for you and show you what he will do. If I just get key number 7, for example, so he will go here and get the key number 7 and change it to the real button, and he pass it to this method. This method, when he get the real button, which is autoplay, play game, he will get the real button, see who is the active, he added to that player, active player 1 or 2, he added to his array. Then after he done, he just say bu select is enable, and boom, code files, and he done. Okay, I think now everything is set up, but here if you see, I just compare the email with the node name. While the node name here, I'm just sending only the part for the person email. I don't set ATO, so I will have a problem. So just set value here, just set it in this way. Then you run it. I just already run it. Then set it in this way. Here is it. So now if I just want 2 players start play the game, so I say rana19@gmail.com, hopefully. So request, she gets the request. If she accepts, so now they both have a node, they could play under that node. So yes, if I just click here, see this one, see the O, X, O, X. See how is it? Bam, win the game. Amazing. So yes, here we done. Thank you for watching and see you next.